What's going on, MBL Network? We are live, twitch.tv/MBL Network. I'm joined alongside my co-host for today and always Quibble. This is the 360 podcast every Wednesday, nearly every Wednesday so far, right? I mean, it's pretty much been every Wednesday.
Yeah, we've hit pretty much all the Wednesdays.
Coming in softer than... There's toilet paper soft entrance there from Quibble. Come on, man. Get some bass in that voice. Let's get this rocking and rolling. This is Wednesday. This is our show. This is our day. This is MBL season 59. Get excited. We got some stuff to be excited about, don't we? I mean, let's take a look at this NFC. So. Can we just interject real quick that there's potentially going to be 9 teams with 10 wins in the NFC, and there's going to be some team with 11 wins potentially that's going to miss the playoffs.
I mean, somebody's got to beat the AFC, right? So
is that it? Is that what we're getting from you here today, Quibble?
I think there was a little bit of back and forth with the NFC and AFC guys the last 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Last cycle, AFC dominated and NFC's just trying to get it right. So this season, they're hopefully going to have another title contender coming out the NFC and take care of business in the Super Bowl.
I think it was more than a playoff Super Bowl domination, not actual domination last time. I mean, that's just speaking.
I would say it's.
Were you in the AFC last season, last cycle?
No, I made the Super Bowl in the NFC. That's how weak we were.
You did? Jeez,
yeah,
what playbook were you using? Broadcast.
ATL. Atlanta, I still use it. Atlanta. I went back to it a little bit this season.
This is stupid, man. This is stupid. No way. It's so bad.
You called it. I lost the Cougs with the Ravens. I was his second win. You know, Purdy just didn't have enough arm strength to win it. It just happens sometimes, you know. I'm back in my place. I'm just maybe Harry Edge, maybe get a wild card.
Maybe
spot,
maybe if it changes to 8 seed, we're legit talking playoffs now in Washington. Is that what you're thinking? Did they start
with 8 seeds? You know, I'll find a way to get the 9th seed. That's just how it works.
It's always going to be a game out. Speaking of a game out,
I like to keep it interesting. Play a little spoiler.
Hey, speaking of a game out, Green Bay Packers 10-6 right now. Chicago Bears lost today to the Detroit Lions in Detroit. It was a must-win kind of game for them and really for Detroit too. You could have found yourself on the outside looking in if you were Detroit and lose that game and then ended up losing to the Patriots. So Chicago 10-6, Green Bay, they're coming off a win against Washington 10-6. Who gets that 7 spot there in the NFC?
Ooh, that's a good one. 10-6. So bring that back up. I was looking at your standings.
Oh, you were looking at the screen?
Yeah, I was taking a look at the standings just to kind of get an idea of what's going on. I still think the team nobody wants to face as a 7 seed is Seattle. I think there's limitations with Chicago, with just offensively. You know, they struggle a little bit. They have a good defense, but you know you're not in a shootout, so you can take care of the ball. You have a chance. And then you have Green Bay, who, if you can shut down their running backs, which is hard, if you can shut down their running backs and take them out the game, you got a shot. So I think a lot of people were just, I think in the NFC probably don't want to play Seattle if somehow they can get it in. As that
I feel the same way. I mean, did you see the game versus? And I want to keep bringing this up. Detroit Lions, Seattle. It came down to a 2-point game at the end. There's some teams in there have played Detroit multiple times, and I'll tell you that Seattle team is a tough out. That's not somebody you want to see sneak into that 7 spot, especially if you're sitting there in Atlanta and you're number 2. They're thinking, Seattle, please don't find your way into the playoffs. This is going to be a game we don't want. I don't think they want to play Seattle. I don't think anybody wants to play Seattle, but a 2 seed Atlanta, they want to get their feet wet in the playoffs, maybe get themselves an easier 7 seed, and Seattle probably ain't the one.
Yeah, I would agree. I think for ones that are going to be on the road, Carolina, I believe, is locked. I think they're just trying to fight for the division still with Atlanta. I think will go down to week 18. I don't know if they play each other, but I think they're pretty close.
Wait. So you're telling me that there's a chance? Let's see this. I want to see this head-to-head record here. Or is it division first? Because Atlanta's unfortunately Atlanta's luck. They have the Los Angeles Chargers in week
Yeah, so Atlanta could be
18.
a road team coming into the playoffs potentially. I got to look at what the divisions are, but they're 1-1 in the division, so they split the division. I think they were both 5-1 in the division. So regardless, they both should be in the playoffs, I'd imagine. It's just depending on who gets a home game and who's traveling to one of the division winners.
That's a crazy turn of events because Atlanta's been in that 2 spot cruising this entire cycle.
Carolina is just slowly lurking.
Well, maybe not the whole cycle. I mean, this entire season. I meant this entire season before I get ridiculed here. Project Fat in the chat asking, do we advance? No, we're streaming right now, though. He's not here.
Yeah, I think Carolina.
And that segues us to the next. Who do you got? Oh, yeah, who do you got? Carolina, Atlanta winning that division. And who do you got taking that 7 seed?
That 7 seed? I think it's most likely going to have to be Seattle. Green Bay and Chicago. Well, actually, no, it can't be Seattle. I think they're eliminated now that I think about it. Because Green Bay and Chicago play week 18.
Oh.
So that's the winner.
The winner gets in. Wow, we're going to have to get that game on bonus coverage there. Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, week 18
Did Seattle play Green Bay or Chicago, though?
It won't matter because the loss. They can't make up the loss.
Because it'll be 11,
difference.
yeah. So we'll have two. We will have potentially 2 10-7 teams missing the playoffs in the NFC.
Well, if Chicago and Green Bay weren't playing each other, I mean, you could have had an 11-win team. That was ideally our first thought, but I guess since they play each other, that eliminates that from happening, as both of them would have to win to reach 11 games. So we're going to get that on bonus coverage. Bears, Packers. Who doesn't want to see that? That's some good football there.
That's a classic.
I wanted to segue over Project Fat, bringing them up. Coach, Indianapolis Colts, they're 9-7. They made that trade with the Lions, Anthony Richardson, right? Again, going back to the Lions here. Indianapolis Colts have been like competitive since they made that trade, right? I feel like they were kind of outside looking in, and it seems like now more or less they're more inside looking out for the majority of these last couple seasons.
Yeah, I think they're going to the playoffs. I think for the most part the AFC is situated. It's just seeding now. I believe Jacksonville doesn't own the tiebreaker versus Indy since they took care of business, I think, last week.
It's Vikings-Packers week 18, they're saying.
It's Vikings-Packers? Okay, so it might get interesting then.
Quibble. I just trusted you there. I had trusted you, and we went on a whole topic. Well, all right, so it's Packers versus Minnesota. That's going to be a tough win for Green Bay, but a must-win for them.
I mean, half of Minnesota's injured, so that'd be a very big disappointment.
Yeah, shout out to Justin Jefferson. He posted a picture on Twitter, getting healthier each day. I hope to see him back very, very soon. But Minnesota, yeah, they've been crushed. What about J.J. McCarthy? He hasn't played much at all.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, I think, is their backup right now. Or who's the starter? Who's playing Raps out there?
Well, we're going to have to look because we
I
can't trust what you say anymore since you were wrong. It's Sam Howell.
Sam Howell, okay.
Yeah, Sam Howell.
I know there was
Washington
a Sam. So all these Sams are just great backups.
Yeah, solid backup. Had a phenomenal game. I think a 1 incompletion performance when he first came out, his first start. And,
it's a year of the backups. You got a lot of backups performing really well. Zach Wilson had that MVP performance,
Well, who do you got winning this 7 seed?
What, 7 seed? Man, okay.
And you said you got Atlanta. You got Atlanta beating Carolina, right? You said that.
If this is accurate, so I'm being told that the Bears play Kansas City, the Vikings play the Packers, and who does Seattle play? That's the question. Because I could see
all
Kansas
of them
City
losing.
I could see Kansas City rolling over and just getting healthy for the playoffs since they're in. They don't care who they play; they're just ready to go. So I could see the Bears getting that 11 win.
Okay.
I could see the Vikings or Packers. That I can't imagine the Vikings would want another division foe in the playoffs because you don't want to play the same team 3 times in the season, and that is potentially the path they will have to go if they want to make the Super Bowl. So I could see them actually bring in whoever they can, I guess, that's healthy and try to eliminate the Packers week 18.
All right, guys, I'm done with this scenario, Sal. Bears actually play Jacksonville, not Kansas City. Jeez, you just can't make this up on this show. This is our our worst statistical show.
The worst chat. We got the worst chat. The chat's not helping us. We're just throwing curveballs.
I'm not even looking.
We can't rely on chat anymore. It's a dangerous thing.
Oh my gosh, guys! I don't even know what we're
talking
about.
Anyway, let's go back. Let's.
No, I don't want to go back, man. We're not going back with time. We're saving 5 minutes off the show now, and the last 5 minutes was supposed to be good. There's going to be some good stuff, man. But, yeah, so who do we got? Quickly here. Atlanta or Carolina. Who do you got being that atop of their division, winning this?
Atlanta wins the division, but I think Carolina runs the table in the playoffs. That's
nice. All right, they could actually play each other, too. We'll see how that plays out.
That's my NFC prediction. Carolina comes out the NFC.
And on the 7th seed, he had the Bears because they were playing Kansas City. They were going to roll over. Well, might not need this dog to roll over. Jacksonville Jaguars, their only hope is the Indianapolis Colts loss for them to get into the playoffs. So they're going to play you hard. They're not rolling over.
I think they're eliminated. I think the AFC is set because the Colts swept the Jags. So even if they finish with the same record, they're out.
All right, so another layover. You're taking Bears at 7. All right, let's move to the AFC. Who do you got 7th seed there?
Can we have the standings back up? I think it's going to be Indianapolis.
I think it's automatic then. You're saying if Jacksonville's eliminated.
Automatic. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be locked in as.
Wow. All right, so you got the Colts then, right?
Yeah, it would be either the Colts or the Chiefs. So it depends how
they play
want to play it. Yeah, I could see the Chiefs trying to avoid playing the Chargers and try to play the Broncos, or I don't know. Like, I think the Chiefs are kind of.
Well, Kansas City hasn't even played this week, though.
I think
I don't know how does Jacksonville have the tiebreaker over?
Yeah, so the Jacksonville Jaguars have lost twice to Indy.
We're gonna do some silent math. What do we got here? Are you still with us, Quibble?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just you're doing math in your head.
No, I thought you were. I wasn't.
No.
Talking. You just quit talking.
I was just telling you that the Jags have lost twice to Indy, so I believe they're out.
But I think they could tie with Kansas City. If Kansas City was to lose today to the Cardinals, that would put them at 9-7. Then they were to lose the next week, they would have 8 losses. That could tie them up with Jacksonville. That's why I said. And if Indianapolis wins next week, they could go to 10-7. That put them to the 6th seed. What Jacksonville,
I guess
Kansas
that's
City.
mathing. That is mathing.
So you think if Jacksonville has if Jacksonville was to get in, I don't even know if it's technically possible because I don't know what the tiebreaker is between Jacksonville and Kansas City.
I'll tell you right now if it's possible.
All right.
As fast as
we don't know what we're doing today, Sal.
We are just winging it. Well, not winging it. We're having fun with it.
Quibble said he wanted to wing it today. He wanted to fly. We found out.
Refresh the page.
Wait, stop going off of my page.
Refresh the page for the people.
Oh, Kansas City won.
Yep. So Kansas City won. So Jacksonville was officially eliminated. So there we go. So Indy's going to take that. That most likely it's going to be between Indy, I guess Denver, Kansas City for that
5, 6, 7.
I guess 5, 6, 7. And I think they want to play. I think that everybody wants to be the 5 seed.
Oh, you saying so you calling Pittsburgh out here, huh? On the show, huh? We're calling Pittsburgh out.
I think everybody wants to be the 5 or 6 seed. Honestly, I think nobody wants to play the Chargers. I think that they would rather play Pittsburgh or New England. I think
Chargers.
Those coaching staffs feel comfortable going
first time the Chargers aren't like the darling of the season, right?
They've been quiet. I think they've
almost like they're not even like trying to be like right in the topic of conversation. It's almost like they're doing that like Lakers on their on the three-peat, that third time they won before they brought in Malone and Peyton, right? They just kind of limped by, just kind of turned it on when they needed to. I kind of feel that kind of dangerousness with the Chargers. I'd be very concerned about playing them in the playoffs. As you said, nobody wants to be that 7 seed because the 7 seed, you're going home, and it's gonna be a rough one, and everyone's gonna get to watch it. So there's always that counterpart too, man. You're just kind of putting yourself in the tournament to get your ass kicked out of the tournament, and that's not always a delightful.
I mean, any given Sunday, season 1.
No.
I think we had all upsets. So
there's not a team that's beating the Chargers except for Kansas City. If Kansas City got the 7 seed, I'm watching. If it's Denver, they haven't shown they could do it, and the Colts, no. Hell no. Hell no. The Indianapolis Colts are not beating the Chargers. Hell no.
I want to see your favorite Colts. I want to see Bryce Young go into Charger land and put up a show.
I want to see Khalil Mack work his way back to the top of the depth chart in that game. just because I feel like Khalil Mack's been being saved for the playoffs too. Might see some more of him. That was the AFC Defensive Player of the Year last year or the season before. Watch out for him, man. He had 35 years young over there with the Chargers, kind of been resting. You got to keep him on the side. What are we moving on to now? What do you got?
Let's check through those predictions I sent you from the very, very beginning of the season.
All right, let me pull them up.
You can pull it up.
Oh, we're going to go to the Bleacher Report?
Yeah.
That's Shane Bleacher Report. I'm down for it.
That Bleacher Report from the, what do you call it, from the get-go. We can see how bad or how accurate maybe some of those predictions were, and who just really kind of not perform as expected. So any teams pop out to you right away that it's like, wow, we as a Bleacher Report and news network really got wrong and did not expect it?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, man. I'm gonna hit the horn on this, and I've been talking trash about this team for a minute now. The lights, man. You know, Motel 6 will leave a light on. Well, the Niners are the opposite of that. They leave that light off. They didn't predict them wrong. 4-13 is the right word. You can't mess that up.
They are 3-12, so they are almost there.
You can't mess up a prediction giving the Niners a 25% win percentage, dude.
You could say the Jets really went south too. They predicted 10-7. They only got 4 wins so far. They put the keys of the franchise with that defense basically into a rookie.
And still on paper, that defense, that's what's getting you probably those wins. It's the best defense in the goddamn league. That's the best defense in the damn league right now. And that's the worst defense in the league right now, too.
Extra times. Like, that rookie, was it Michael McDonald? He needs to get his stuff together next season, or, he might be finding himself on another team.
You talking about the New York Jets?
Yeah, Jets. They got
McDonald,
the rookie quarterback.
The guy with the 40-40 club, about to hit the 40-40 club?
Yeah, he was going for Bryce's record last year. It's just Jets love sending those guys out there and just say, hey, go give the ball to the other team. We want our defense to get some extra reps.
It's pretty embarrassing what the Jets are doing over there with that quarterback, because that's a young rook, man. He can't have you can't walk around with 40 interceptions on your rookie resume and think that that's going to get you somewhere. I don't understand what's going on over there. It just makes no sense. You got to protect your quarterback. But hey, you guys, I said the Niners are the best defense and the worst defense. They're the best defense on paper, the worst defense on the field. Well, one of them, it should be, because that differential between the two. They're giving up 30 points per game. The San Francisco 49ers are giving up 30 points per game, and that's not even the bad part. The bad part is the offense is only scoring 20 points per game, which means that 30 points could be way higher. I imagine some of these are blowouts, and they just kind of, tail off at the end and take their victory, right? So these are non-competitive games. You just don't know how much that defense could give up potentially on the field. But, man, on paper, we're all taking that San Francisco 49ers defense. But when we actually get into the game, we're not even really talking about.
DC needs to be fired. DC needs to be fired.
Man, the DC, the ABC, the C, that whole thing. Anybody connected with anybody that hired anybody in the last 4 seasons needs to go, because the San Francisco 49ers have not done a particularly good job bringing in players and developing players on the field part of the thing. The scheming has just not existed in San Francisco. Let's move on. I don't know why we're talking about them. I was giving you some time to flip it on you. Who sticks out to you as a big mistake here? They have the Ravens going 10-7. That's interesting over there.
So I would say that the whole entire AFC North we kind of got wrong. I mean, we were expecting it to be a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like they all had a really down year for that division.
Yeah, for
competitively.
I would say like week 12, 13 wise, before they started playing each other, they were like 4-9. And then they started playing each other, so somebody had to win.
Yeah,
an interesting fact. I'm just looking at how some of these games have come out.
I think that look at this AFC West predictions. Very good.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah, I think everyone knows and what to expect from the AFC West. The Raiders are a little bit struggling, but they always put up fights. They have high-powered offense. I think that team dealt with a lot of injuries, and I have high hopes for them next season. But something really, really interesting is the Broncos. They are 1-5 in the division right now. They have 6 losses.
Oh, they're 1-5. Yeah, that's alarming. But that's also somewhat
They can't beat the
dangerous.
division. They can't win their division matchups, but if they play anybody else,
But if they bounce it around and
winning.
they find those holes to play the other 2 teams or the other 3 teams in the race.
Yeah, if they can get on the opposite side of the bracket and hope they get eliminated,
they might be a sneaky, dangerous team. And it also shows you this team actually is dangerous when it comes to you playing them for the first time or the first time in a while, right? Tendencies might be the breaker for the Denver Broncos right now. As you see within the division, they're just not adjusting enough. Maybe they're just not talented enough in that division. That's a crazy division, and it'd be crazy to see if Denver goes on a run and they're like, finally get us outside of this damn division where we can actually play some football and play some winning football. That could be a sneaky little dark horse team going into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's definitely something to watch and see if they can position themselves to put them on the opposite side of the bracket.
All right, anything else before we scrap this? Oh, 12-5 Texans. What are they at? 14 wins now. Texans, Dan, they lived up to expectations. You go to the AFC Championship kind of in a Cinderella run, and now you're supposed to be the big dog. You get blown out and embarrassed on the big stage in the Super Bowl. What are you about? Are you going to come back? Are you going to make some plays, right? Are you going to be a team that is formidable, right? This wasn't just a Cinderella run. They kind of have proved that a little bit this year. I still wouldn't pick them in the playoffs in any round, because I just don't trust them defensively, especially the way the Philadelphia Eagles shredded them like a piece of lettuce, a head of lettuce, what? Something. I don't trust them. But man, they had a good season. They should be proud. Their fans should be talking a little trash right now, right?
I think they talk their trash. I mean, they don't have as much trash to talk as the Eagles. I mean, they're in the best division and they're undefeated. They're going for that 20-0. I don't think they get it, but it happens.
You don't think? So who do you think is going to be? Who do you think is going to be?
I have the Panthers. I have the Panthers coming out.
They're going to beat the Eagles. Panthers. Oh, that could be interesting.
It depends if somebody beats the Eagles. I honestly think the Panthers are going to sneak through and take the NFC and potentially the tie. I think there's too many injuries everywhere else in the NFC. Granted,
wait, are we talking about the Niners right now? Get off my chat, Niner fan! Bang bang, Niner gang. 4 wins this season.
Oh, 9 sacks here.
25% win percentage is almost like the staple. That's like the run and shoot for the San Francisco 49ers. There was a quote earlier from a guy on a podcast earlier minutes ago, and he said that the San Francisco 49ers front office needs to find out whoever hired anybody at any point between this time and this time, being the start of this crap, to where we are now, they need to be fired. And then the person that fired them's got to go because he's still somewhat associated till we get to the end of the line and then just completely rebuild the front office and maybe come out with a scheme, because we are the paper champions of the MBL, the paper champions on the defensive side of the ball, but the wet paper bags when we actually get on the field. What's going on with San Francisco? I don't know, but it's continuing to go on, and I just don't think we're talking about it enough. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit.
He's already dead, man.
He's already dead. Yeah, I'm just sitting there beating this horse. He hasn't moved he hasn't had a palpation. Like,
I am excited to see the top 5 picks and who they end up doing to try to change the direction of their franchises. Though I think there's all players that can kind of help them out. So definitely something to look forward for those fan bases.
All right, was there anything else we're talking about on this show?
You got any more calls?
Hey, for Super Bowl. Let's just do a Super Bowl prediction though, real quick.
Super Bowl prediction?
Just the two teams.
Panthers, Broncos, and I think the Panthers do a field goal walk off.
Panthers, Broncos. And who does a field goal walk off?
Panthers.
I tell you, man, you must be a secret Panther fan, because that is quite the team I'd want to see if I was Carolina in the Super Bowl. Or the Colts, but you couldn't say the Colts, right? No, they'd probably rather see the Steelers.
I just think Denver's. I've been big on the Denver Broncos since season 1. I called them for the upset early, and everyone laughed at me. I've been able to see them play a couple times, and just think they have a very unique offense that if you're not in the division, you're not used to.
Interesting take. I'm gonna go. I don't want to go Carolina because you did. I'm gonna say Philly goes back, and I'm gonna say
Philly Chargers. That'd be interesting.
I'm gonna say Chiefs make
See if
it.
he holds-
I really think it's gonna be Chargers Philly again, or Chargers
That'd
Philly. It
be-
probably should be, as they were the two dominant teams in the first seasons of this cycle. So they, Chargers won, and then as you can see, I'll scroll down here. You see the Super Bowl.
That would
banners
be
with-
great. That would be
That
great.
would be
for the
a like a.
storyline.
Philly
Philly versus
that's where I'm at.
Chargers.
I'm gonna go Chargers, Eagles, man. It's
Yeah,
boring to
Chargers,
say.
Eagles. And then you have the option of like, do the Chargers stop the 20-0, or do the Eagles become a 20-0 and beat the 20-0?
Niners fans are saying that this is all part of the Niners plan. This is some crazy scenic route, trust the process shit. Yo, man, you trust the process, but you got off the directional road, dog. Taking the roundabout way on the trust the process.
All right. Do you have anything else, or should we let these guys get out of here?
Wait, we had something going there. Yeah, I got Chargers, Philly. Oh, I see MVP in the chat. Who do you got?
You
at your
got
MVP?
winning,
Who do you got
though.
at your MVP? Top 3, top 4 right now. Go.
Wait, hold on. You never said who you won. Who won? Who's winning that Super
Man,
Bowl matchup?
Chargers Philly is just such a boring thing to
But
talk
who's winning
about.
it?
I feel like, oh man, I don't want to see no perfect season, man. I'm going Chargers, man. I don't want to see that. And
Chargers
it would be interesting the Chargers to stop them from a perfect season, right?
Yeah.
To kind of protect their
that's the
legacy
thing.
there, right?
Yeah, that would be the history book type game.
Yeah, there we go. All right, MVP candidates. Anything that sticks out
Right
right now? Final words.
MVP candidates. I would definitely say John Peterson is out there.
JP, the rookie. From
second
Carolina
year, yeah.
Panthers. Yeah, the rookie
Yeah.
from last year is what I was gonna call him. Yeah,
I'd
I know.
say
I know
John
JP.
Peterson. Yeah, JP. I think he has potential to be the MVP. We'll see how the voters swing. Anthony Richardson's up there again, and Justin Herbert's up there again. You also got like the dynamic wide receivers out in Indy. Those are like really the big MVP candidates to my eyes.
All right, quick. Give me a word association for Michael McDonald right now. He's number 2 in yards.
Turnover.
What?
Turnover.
Turnover. Michael McDonald, this beer's for you. We're gonna put you on the screen when we leave it. One word. We did a word association with Quibble right now, and I said Michael McDonald. For those just tuning in, he said turnover. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you next time. This is the MBL 360 podcast, and you've been around the league.